4th down and 6. Olbridge gotta have it. Shotgun formation. Nugent, a lot of time. Rolls out. He's running out of space. Will roll the other way. They look, corner of the end zone. Touchdown!
Rowan heading for the touchpad with the lead. And the props will take the men's 400-yard freestyle relay.
Andrews will be in shotgun. He takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He'll throw it down the left sideline. He's got a wide open receiver. He's got the touchdown.
Motion man is Simmons. Trotman throwing towards Simmons down the field, and he makes the catch in traffic for a Bearcats touchdown.
Back to pass, middle of the field. The catch is made by Britt. She's off to the races at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Britt is in for the score.
Back on in, here's Yoxin. Yoxin to the backhand, trying to go to the front, makes the move and shot, and he scores!
And Gracie comes set and delivers. And that's it on the ground to second. Throw to first, in time, and the ball game is over. South Shore survives a late scare, and they are the 2024 New York State Little League Baseball champions. Live from the Sonny Werblin Recreation Center on the campus of Rutgers University, the PDF Sports Network is proud to welcome you into coverage of the 2026 Metropolitan Collegiate Swimming and Diving Conference Championship. Good evening, everybody. Once again, my name is Joe Foreman alongside Nick Durst on the call from Rutgers here tonight, and we are just moments away from the start of our Night 2 program here at the 2026 Mets Championship. We have diving about to begin on a separate stream as well. That stream will go live once again a bit closer to when diving begins. Diving has not yet started in the pool to our left. But, Nick, it is relay time, and why don't you introduce tonight's schedule of events very quickly?
Yeah, we got the events here tonight, and it's hot in here, and the action is even hotter. So we're going to start off right now with a 200 medley relay, women's and men's. As you mentioned, Joe, you get the women's and men's diving over on the other stream on the YouTube channel. You can easily find that. 400 individual medley, 100 butterfly, 200 freestyle, 100 breaststroke, 100 backstroke, and 800 freestyle relay. Right now, diving in the pool, we're starting things off just like we did last night, Joe, with the SUNY Maritime in lane 3, John Jay College in lane 4, and Brooklyn College in lane 5 for the 200-yard medley relay. SUNY Maritime, 2:18.89. Seed time, John Jay, 2:04.88. Brooklyn College, 2:12.14. And this is heat 2 of 3. There is no heat 1, so it's the B heat right out of the gate as things are well underway here with John Jay in an early lead. SUNY Maritime well behind right now. Brooklyn College chasing John Jay at the moment.
All right, Nick, at the moment, I am working on getting our scoreboard back. We are having an issue with our secondary camera, but we are going to get the scoreboard back, hopefully in time for the first individual event. Meanwhile, in lane 4, John Jay sends their third swimmer into the pool, as does Brooklyn. So I am working on taking care of the camera. Nick, while I do that, focus on the action for me. Hopefully I can get this taken care of quickly.
Yeah, just some more background here on this particular event. The record, Metro Champs record, 141.49 by Long Island University 10 years ago, 2016. Right now looks like Brooklyn College about to take the lead here. 135.97 overall on that touch. 136.74 is John Jay right behind them. But John Jay with a great dive in here, and this swimmer is doing a tremendous job. Again, we don't have the name of the swimmers available to us, but this is the 4th swimmer here for John Jay. And Joe, look at this lead. She's opening up more than half the pool length here, and she dove in behind, and John Jay with a monstrous win in this heat, clocking in at 2:03.83. Brooklyn College, 2:12.34. So big difference there. As I mentioned, Brooklyn College had the lead, and then SUNY Maritime coming in third in this heat.
All right, Nick, we do have our camera back. However, I'm having an issue adding it as our picture-in-picture. I think I have solved that, and indeed I have. So they call me the best at what I do for a reason. Even if it's just me calling myself that, I'll still take it. I own quite a few mirrors.
Right now you're overseeing your fourth or fifth of 5 broadcasts for the day. So.
Technically, this is 6 of 6 because we have diving and
So
the main pool,
diving in the
main pool, and then 2 basketball games. So it is time for our A final in the women's 200-yard medley relay. Nick, give us the lane assignments.
All right, Joe. So we're going to be using in this A final here lanes 2 through 7. So in lane 2, we have SUNY Maritime College, the Privateers, who clocked in with a seat time of 2:01:43. In lane 3 is going to be Roberts Wesley University's Red Hawks with a seat time of 1:58:90. In lane 4 is going to be Gordon College, the Fighting Scots, who had a 1:55:73 seed time. In lane 4 is going to be Baruch. The Bearcats had a 1:56:43 seed time. Hunter College in lane 6, 2:01:31 seed time for the Hawks. And in lane 7, Sarah Lawrence College, the Griffins, had a 2:02:25 seed time. And we're going to get things started right now with the backstroke.
And our A final in the women's 200-yard medley relay is underway. We do apologize for not having the scoreboard during our first heat of the night. It is back. I am working on both our diving stream and our stream here in the main pool. Once again, those looking for diving, tune in on a separate stream, same place, right here on the PDF Sports Network. As we are nearly through the first 50, the backstroke opens up this 200-yard medley relay. And first to the touch pads will be Gordon by about 1/10 of a second. It looked like Baruch may have had a slight edge, but the Fighting Scots get there first, and their lead is about half a body length and growing as we enter the breaststroke.
Yeah, a lot more breaststroke to come later on this evening, as we're going to have the breaststroke. Yeah, the 100-yard breaststroke will be later on this evening.
All right, Nick, so somehow you and I got our headsets exchanged. You were mic 1, I was mic 2, and that is the reason you and I sounded a bit off to one another before coming online. Meanwhile, it's a body length lead for Gordon, swimming out of lane 4. We have reached the fly, third leg in our medley relay. The Fighting Scots maintaining a lead of about a body length. Baruch not far behind, and Roberts Wesleyan very much in the mix as well, about maybe a body length and a half behind Baruch. Final swimmer into the pool for the Fighting Scots, for the Bearcats, and now the Red Hawks. They are joined in lane 7 by the Griffins as well, and the lead is shrinking for Gordon here. Can Baruch make up about half a body length? The final 12 to 15 here. Baruch closing in. Can they erase the lead for Gordon? It does not appear so. The Fighting Scots win the A final in the women's 200-yard medley relay, followed by Baruch, Roberts Wesleyan, Mount St. Mary, Sarah Lawrence, and Hunter College.
Bearcats tried to come roaring back there, but could not keep up. And for the most part, Gordon College led coast to coast on that race. Great race here to get things started this evening.
And Nick, once again, for those looking for diving, it is on a separate stream. I do believe our audio would be coming through on diving from where we're standing. However, I have muted that audio output for now. Our hotspot, which has been running all day, overheated. So we are having issues staying online with the diving stream at the moment. I'm working on that as we have our A final coming up here in the men's 200-yard medley relay. Nick, share those lane assignments.
Okay, here we go. So we're going to do lanes 2 through 7. Lane 2 is Brooklyn College, and the Bulldogs had a 1:46:26 seed time. Lane 2 is going to be Gordon College, who just won the women's heat And the Fighting Scots had a 1:40-1:49 seed time. Lane 4 is going to be Baruch. And Baruch College, the Bearcats, had a 1:36:30 seed time. Roberts Wesleyan University's seed time was 1:36:84, so the Red Hawks happy with that. Looking to improve upon that here in the final, obviously. SUNY Maritime College had a seed time of 1:43:84. Privateers in lane 6, and in lane 7 is going to be Mount St. Mary College, the Knights, with a 1:52:80 seed time. And the record in this race was set in 2015 by the University of Bridgeport. 1:28:23 was the time. Kelly Jimenez, Capin, and Pascas set that record. And we are getting set here to start things off here in this relay with the backstroke.
Men's 200-yard medley relay, A final, our one and only heat in this event. As you mentioned, Nick, the backstroke gets us started and going stroke for stroke in lanes 3, 4, and 5. Gordon, Baruch, Roberts Wesleyan. Those are 3 programs whose names we've said quite a bit this first night plus here at the Mets, Nick.
Yeah, and maybe, Joe, after this, well, we're going to break after this, but we'll go through the standings.
That we will. Each team has now sent their second swimmer into the pool, and it is the Red Hawks with the lead swimming out of lane 5. A pair of strong underwaters in lanes 3 and 4 helping to close Baruch and Gordon in on Roberts Wesleyan. And the Red Hawks narrowly to the touch pads first by about a half a second over Baruch. They were nearly a half a second ahead of Gordon.
Yeah, Roberts Wesleyan 51:30. Baruch was 51:78. Gordon 52:42.
Roberts behind the fly, and I think we know who that was in the water, Nick. I think once again, that was Peter Sy with the big swim. His team now with a lead of over a body length. And it looks like Roberts Wesleyan is going to take this one swimming out of lane 5. Can Gordon close in and catch Baruch for second? It does not appear so. And it will be the Red Hawks scoring first place points in the 200 medley relay A final, followed by Baruch, Gordon, SUNY Maritime. And it appears that in lane 2, it is going to be Brooklyn in 5th, followed by Mount St. Mary in 6th.
All right, so some quick, fast and furious action. A great 10 minutes here to start our broadcast and stream, but I believe we're going to have a break now before we start the individual events, but they'll probably introduce the divers first, I think.
Well, Nick, if they do introduce the divers, I'd like to bring that on the diving stream. Unfortunately, it appears that the bandwidth of our wireless hotspot is not going to support a diving stream at 1080p and 60 frames per second. So we're going to have to try and dip that. What we're going to do, Nick, is step aside on our main stream. We have entered a 10-minute break. So with that, we will step aside on the main stream and bring you diving on our second stream shortly. Joe Foreman and Nick Durst back with you here on the PDF Sports Network as we resume action in our main pool. We just had the introduction of our diving finalists on our diving stream. So if you're looking for our diving finals, we have the men's 3-meter and the women's 1-meter tonight. In fact, Nick, I think I had that backwards, or perhaps it was announced backwards, because I thought for sure they announced the men's finalists as 3-meter finalists. Either way, I'm probably mistaken.
Men is 3-meter.
It is.
Women is 1-meter.
All right, so this sheet is once again wrong. It also had the wrong time for prelims this morning. So this sheet playing tricks on me. I think I might have an outdated sheet, but I need to look for dates. It does have the right dates on it, Nick, so I'm not sure. But I was correct initially. The announcements were correct. My sheet here is not correct. Your meet sheet is correct. So
Yeah, I got it printed here. So
a lot of conflicting information as we enter about 75 yards deep in the women's 400-yard IM.
well, let's look at the competitors in this heat 1 of 2. Lane 3, Baruch College's Salma Jaramillo. Lane 3 is Hunter College's Naisha Krishna. Lane 4 is Roberts Wesleyan University's Leanne Dolph. Lane 5 is Gordon College's Lily Fozzi. And in lane 6 is Helen Bueller from Baruch College.
All right, thank you for that, Nick. I'm just attending to our diving stream momentarily. Want to get the camera resituated where it belongs. So continue to take us through for just a few short moments.
Well, looking through right now, these competitors, it looks like currently we've got a 3-person race for first. Right now, Helen Bueller with the slight lead.
Nick, is there a chance that you have my meet sheet? I think it was buried. We got it. All right, now I'm all caught up. Our diving stream is ready to go for that audience. We are a crew of 2 here tonight at the Mets. Joe Foreman on the call alongside Nick Durst, and I'll be joined by Joe Calabrese tomorrow night for the final evening of competition here at Rutgers University.
Well, Joe, I don't like to look too far ahead, but next year, the Sunday of the Mets might be a little bit of a tough sell for our viewers on the stream. Do you know why?
Not the Super Bowl.
Going head-to-head with the Super Bowl.
No way.
February 14th is the Super Bowl next year.
Well,
Let's see if
I don't think they've chosen.
Maybe the Mets will move it. Traditionally, the second weekend of February is.
Yeah.
But to go head-to-head with the Super Bowl would be a little rough.
That is tough. That is really
We
tough.
won't have much viewership, and I don't know who's going to be
We
here.
had great viewership yesterday. I didn't check the numbers for today.
Well, that's
but
for
we
sure.
will.
But versus Super Bowl, I don't know how we're going to draw.
Yeah, that would be a tough sell.
So that's going to be interesting for sure to see if that comes to fruition. But hopefully, the Mets schedule a different date. This is something you don't have to worry about. But Valentine's Day on Super Bowl Sunday next year, a nightmare for restaurants who are going to lose so much money.
Yeah, you know, it was actually funny. I conducted an interview earlier today with a married coach, and he said all the husbands, boyfriends, and such on Valentine's Day have their obligations today. And I said, well, Coach, I wouldn't know anything about that. And he said, me either. I'm like, wait a minute. What do you mean by that? Meanwhile, here in the pool, swimming out of lane 4,
Yeah.
it is Leanne Dolph with a sizable advantage.
Not sure why the Super Bowl is going to be a week later next year. I'm guessing with Labor Day, they're starting a week later. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure, but throughout the country, a lot of swimming conference championships on this particular weekend. So if they choose not to move, all of those would be up against the Super Bowl as well, because just about all of them continue through to Sunday.
Yeah, it's all usually Thursday through Sunday is the meets. The good news for next year, though, is that President's Day will be the day after the Super Bowl, so everyone's going to be off. Except you, of course. You'll be working hard and getting those shipments out.
I get no days off, Nick. You should know that. We've entered the final leg in this individual medley, and it is still a sizable lead for Dolph swimming out of lane 4. It looks like they're about set to begin over at the diving boards. So that's something to look forward to coming up shortly.
So this is the first of 2 heats here. And right now, looks like that this race is heading in the direction of Leanne Dolph.
Well, Nick, don't listen to what I said early last night. I did later correct myself, but each final, B final, A final, and of course the C finals as well, they all score course, those C finals score much less than the A and the B final, but points are earned nonetheless. And picking up the win in a C final is worth 9 points if, of course, there are 8 swimmers.
So how many points do you get for making an A final?
The minimum, I would have to pull that up, and I can tell you momentarily.
The question I always ask is, would you rather come in 8th in the A final or win the B final? And I'm curious points-wise.
Always 8th in the A final.
So being 8th in the A final is going to be more points than first in the B.
Always.
Okay.
I know the points descend from 32 all the way down to 1, but in the A final, it's not in even increments. So I have to pull up the scoring table to tell you exactly how that breakdown works.
Well, we did promise everybody the standings as well, so we're going to have plenty of time here as we next will have the A heat for women, and I don't know if you looked ahead, Joe, but then the B heat for men is going to be only one swimmer. That's going to be quite awkward for the freshman from Brooklyn College, Anthony King, swinging all by himself for over 5 minutes.
That could lock you in or perhaps inspire a bit of stage fright, depending on what kind of personality you are. Meanwhile, our A finalists are making their way to the starting blocks. Nick, you have the lane assignments, and they'll be up on the board shortly.
Yeah, I got to wait on that because I don't have everybody's first names. But once I hit the screen, here we go. So in lane number 1, from Sarah Lawrence College with the seed time and the prelims of 5:34.85, Aubrey Roser. Lane 2, her teammate, the freshman from Sarah Lawrence College, with the 5:19.64 prelim time. It is Kirsten Eads. In lane 3, the senior from Baruch College, 5:09.51 prelim time, Kira Chen. In lane 4, it is Roberts Wesley University's Joni Zaluz Garzon, and her seed time was 5:02.02. She's a senior. Lane 5 from Roberts Wesleyan as well. It is the freshman Sky McElwaith. McElwaith. Her seed time is 5:08.22. Gordon College, they have Harper Yinks in lane 6, and the freshman's seed time is 5:16.50. Lane 7, Roberts Wesleyan University has Paige Kern, the sophomore, with a 5:33.18 prelim time. And in lane 8 is Arwen Hefter from Gordon College. Her prelim time, the junior, was 5:44.06, and Metro Tramp's record in this particular race is 4:17.68, set by Carolyn Rademack in 2015, and the overall record in this race, as we mentioned, it was Carolyn, but last year the winner, you see her in lane 3 here this evening, Kira Chen. And last year she swam a 4:55.64 to win it all. Her seed time much slower, so we'll see. These girls, as usual, they turn it on here in the finals.
All right, Nick. Well, we do have a 400 here in the 400 IM A final, and that will give us some time. I will run through the standings following last night's action very quickly. 1 through 9 in the women's meet. Gordon, Hunter, Baruch, Mount St. Mary, Sarah Lawrence, Roberts Wesleyan, Brooklyn, John Jay, SUNY Maritime. In the men's meet, Roberts, Baruch, SUNY Maritime, Gordon, Brooklyn, Mount St. Mary, 1 through 6.
All right, there you have it. So Roberts Wesleyan getting set. And then in the next men's race, the A final, they're going to have, I believe, 2 swimmers. So that'll continue to help them out.
All right, Nick, it does appear that diving has started. However, it does not appear that the microphone has been turned on that transmits us audio. So we will keep an eye on that over there, and hopefully the announcer does turn the microphone on. In fact, I think he's doing it right now. I think he just turned it on. So let's see if he did that. Looks like he's clipping it to his shirt, which is perfect timing. Meanwhile, here in our main pool, we have reached the backstroke, and with the lead swimming out of lane 4 is Joni Arzaloon Garzon. Just checking on our audio, and our diving audio is coming through loud and clear, so we're all set to my left. Once again, if you're looking for diving, you can catch that on our second stream. But for those of you with us here on the main stream, the action is focused in the main pool. Our focus is in the main pool, as it looks like diving is all good to go. They're about to get started over there. Arzaloon Garzon with the lead by about a second and a half, maybe a bit less than that over Kira Chen. Also in the mix, Sky McClethwaite swimming out of lane 5, and a pair of Roberts Wesleyan teammates in lanes 4 and 5, along with Chen representing Baruch. And we thank all of you in the live chat who have shared your kind words with us throughout the day. And Nick, compared to last night, the live chat is on fire early in this meet. I was shocked by how little engagement there was last night.
Well, it's Valentine's Day, so what better way to spend it than by watching us broadcast this great meet?
Well, I could see a situation where for those watching on Valentine's Day, their first love is swimming. My first love is the grind. So here I am doing a job I love. My first love, broadcasting.
I thought your first love was video games.
Maybe when I was much younger, that could be the case. Arzaloon Garzon still with a very narrow lead over Kira Chen. Both headed for the touchpad, closely followed by McClethwaite in lane 5.
Yeah, Kira Chen 43-49 touch there, so she's remaining strong right now.
It looks like Chen may have overtaken, I should say, Arzaloon Garzon briefly, and they reached the wall at just about the same time. So the underwater here could separate one from the other. Not quite, maybe a slight edge for Chen.
Yeah, I think Chen's got a little bit of an edge here. You see with Chen, when she goes up, her arms go much further out. So she got that slight edge on the touchpad there. 43-71 on her touch there.
Final 100 here. Freestyle for Chen, for Arzaloon Garzon, and McClethwaite. The rest of the field joining them shortly. Chen's lead at maybe half a body length here. And off of that last turn, it grows to nearly a full body length. We'll get a look at the difference in split times right here. About a second.
34:01 to 35:02. And the lead is growing now for Chen.
Chen beginning to run away with this one. Looking to secure first place points for Baruch. It looks like a clear cut. 1, 2, 3. Chen, Arzaloon Garzon, McClethwaite in lanes 3, 4, and 5. Meanwhile, in lane 6, Harper Yingst appears as if she's going to finish in 4th. And it doesn't appear that any other position in this event is going to be up for grabs. Pretty clear cut. Yingst in there.
Domination by Kira Chen.
She secures the win by about 3.5 seconds. It is Chen 1, McClethwaite 2, Arzaloon Garzon 3, Yingst 4, Eads 5, Kern 6, Rosser 7th, and Hefner in 8th. And Nick, I meant to bring it up before when you mentioned 1 year from now, the meet could be competing against Super Bowl Sunday. There's at least one viewer, STV, in our live chat plans to watch.
There we go. Not everybody's a football fan. Here we go. I mentioned it before a few minutes ago, but Anthony King from Brooklyn College. It's his time to shine as he had a prelim time of 5:14.84, and all eyes on the King here as he's going to swim this heat all by himself.
I was about to say it's the Anthony King show, but that doesn't quite match up with your introduction of the Brooklyn College swimmer. And we'll get a look at his seed time. It is 5:14.84, so all eyes on Anthony for about 5 minutes here.
Yeah, the king of the pool right now. There's a lot of pressure on Anthony, I guess, as everyone's watching
Or perhaps
him, but
none.
He's gonna finish in first place.
Well, that's just it, Nick. Perhaps there's no pressure at all.
Now, do you go for it here, or you just take your time swimming?
No, you sell out and try and set a personal best. You dig down for what you didn't know you had in you in a situation like this. You know you're earning your team first place points for a B final. So at the very least, I think you just sell out here and try and set a personal record if you can. In terms of points, really nothing you can do to control anything there. It's already set. Now, I think that changes a bit if perhaps you're competing in another event later.
Yeah, see if you gotta save yourself. Right.
I'd be inclined to say that if he's participating in an individual medley, he is competing in at least one more event tonight. We have a breaststroke, we have a backstroke, we have a butterfly, and we have a freestyle event. So odds are we would see him competing in one more, but that's the odds. Nick, I know you're checking our meet sheet right now. See if you could find his name on there again.
Yeah, I'm taking a look.
Meanwhile, King reaches the wall at about 2:08. Closing in on the midway point here. This next touch will bring us there, and we'll get a look at where his pace lines up with his seed time. Diving has started on our second stream as Anthony King at the midway point, 2:28.99. So that puts him in pretty good shape. Now, to be honest, Nick, we don't have a lap counter here, so it is possible he might be just ahead of the midway point, and of course the freestyle for most swimmers will speed them up a bit.
Yeah, the screen has length 8, so I don't know how accurate that is though. Doesn't look like he's swimming again tonight.
All right.
I could see.
Well,
I could be missing.
It is possible we missed him. Our meet sheets are physical printouts. We can't hit the old Control F. That usually helps quite a bit. And let's see. I can confirm that when I announced the midway point, that was indeed the midway point. So Anthony King all alone in there, about 3.5 minutes deep into this 400-yard individual medley B final. Reaching the wall at about the 3:40 mark. Keep in mind, seed time 5:14.84 for King. Now, I'm curious if it's just his teammates encouraging him on, or if it's a greater contingent than just that. Because with each stroke, we could hear audibly from down around the front row, a lot of noise being made as Anthony continues his swim, and I think that is the Brooklyn contingent.
Yeah, the Brooklyn contingent is Royal Court cheering him on.
Roberts getting in on that noise making as well. He makes that most recent touch at 4:39.35. So he has about 35 seconds to come in ahead of that seed time of nearly 5:15. Reaching the wall at about 4:58. It appears he will indeed surpass that seed time. By how much is the question? It could be a slim margin.
It's going to be close.
I think he'll just edge it out. Oh, he may have matched it exactly.
Touchpad error, I think. It glitched out there, and then it went to 5:15.63.
I think he was a bit quicker than that, Nick. But if not, he matched his seed time almost exactly. We had that in a relay last night. A team matching their seed time to the 100th decimal place. How's that for a throwback to grade school? That's back when video games were my first love.
It all works together in the long run.
A final. Men's 400 IM. Lane assignments coming up shortly as the finalists make their way to the starting blocks, and they have populated the board.
All right, here we go. Looking at everybody here, lanes 1 through 8. In lane 1, we have from Roberts Wesleyan, the sophomore, Braden Mitchell with a 4:59.02 seed time. In lane 2, we have Baruch College's senior Leo Valdivia with the 4:46.63 prelim time. And moving over to lane 3 with the seed time of 4:44. We know our colleague Joe Calabrese would love that.
Repeating digits, he loves them.
From Mount St. Mary, it is Michael D'Ambrosio. And in lane 4 from Baruch College, the junior with a prelim time of 4:30.59, it is Daniel Basilkov. And lane 5, the freshman from Roberts Wesleyan University, 4:34.70. Saw a bunch of his supporters in here last night. AJ Merced, or Merced, as I was just corrected. Now in lane 6, the senior from Baruch, 4:45.85 prelim time, Jordan Lynn. In lane 7, his teammate is senior from Baruch as well, 4:57 flat is Eric Goldstein. And in lane 8, from SUNY Maritime, 4:59.95 prelim time, the junior, Parker Endress. Historically, looking at this event, let's first look at last year to see who won that, and that was Theo Dietrich from Gordon. I believe he graduated, so he's not here. 4:21.60 was the time in that event, and the all-time winner in this is Ryan Higgins from TCNJ. We were here in the building, Joe, 2023, and that was a tremendous race there, 3:54.46.
We've actually seen a few more records than I anticipated, and we're only about, what would you say, a third of the way through this weekend's meet? Maybe 40% of the way?
Yeah.
And looking back at a lot of the records set in the events that we've covered so far, we were on hand for quite a few records. Now, maybe I should know this, but the data we're provided through Be Smart only goes back to the first year that you and I covered this meet. I know for sure the meet dates back a bit further than that.
Yeah, 2000. The earliest record I see to date here is 2000. So
we're talking a quarter century.
Years, yes. So that was Nolan Monahan from the United States Merchant Marine Academy. He had a 100 breaststroke record that year.
Meanwhile, in the pool, swimming out of lane 4, Daniel Vasilkov with a sizable lead as he approaches the touchpad. The rest of the field assembled fairly closely.
Looks like we've covered 5 record-breaking swims.
I would not have guessed we covered that many.
Yeah.
To be fair, Nick, in year one, which was 2022, we found out we were covering this at the very last minute.
All right, and in that year, Kinsey Brooks, she set 2 records, 200 IM and the 100 breaststroke, so she was pretty dominant.
And I believe that was her freshman season.
Yeah, Jack Watson, James McKenzie set some records in 2023, as well did Ryan Higgins.
Yeah, I don't even think I need to look at the 2022 awards list to know that McChesney won Swimmer of the Meet. He sure did. Brooks and McChesney were Swimmers of the Meet that year. And those are names that we said so many times during that first weekend. I believe we actually had some help on the commentary that year as well.
Yeah, we had some guest commentators.
I think we had some Staten Island swimmers on that year.
Too, and then some other random swimmer came up, wanted to come on, forget what school he was from.
We had a lot of aspiring broadcasters in the building that season. And, you know, I think this job is one that people are either extremely eager to try or have no interest in whatsoever.
Terrified, right?
Yeah. You know, I say it all the time on the air. Off headset, I'm probably under 100 words a day. If I'm not on the clock, I don't speak much. I keep to myself.
What about when you're playing Xbox?
Well, that's different. I don't play that much Xbox anymore, Nick. You know, those days are over.
That's good.
You know, I think we're a part of a generation that uses video games as a way to distract, and I think other generations had different means of doing the same thing. But for me, I really enjoy sports video gaming. Those are the only games I play. NBA 2K, Madden, all that stuff.
WWE?
Not as much, but is there a swimming video game?
There should be. I was thinking about that before
There
we were
should
talking
be.
about video games. At least get something for like the Olympics or something.
That would be a lot of button mashing. Meanwhile, not much has changed in terms of the field. Vasilkov far and away ahead of the pack here. And I believe his nearest competitor is A.J. Merced swimming out of lane 5. But Vasilkov approaching the touch pad here with a sizable lead. And Vasilkov will post a time of 4:23.32. And Nick, that is a drastic improvement over his seed time, if I recall.
7 seconds.
Yeah, that is a big improvement for him. Merced with a time of 4:31.65. Jordan Lynn, 4:40.44. Close finish between lanes 2 and 3. Michael D'Ambrosio with a time of 4:44.73, followed by Leo Valdivia with a time of 4:45.93. Mitchell 6th, Goldstein 7th, Endress 8th. Women's 100 fly, Heat 1B final coming up, and those lane assignments will appear on your screen momentarily. And Nick, you pointed this out yesterday. As this race gets set to begin, the men wait in the pool and make their exit upon the start of the following event.
Yeah, so 2 heats here. Heat 1 right now, lane 3 for Hunter College. Anastasia Leishk in lane 4 from John Jay College. Luciana Urade in lane 5 for Hunter College. It is Annie Huang, and in lane 6 from Gordon College, Lily Foisey. And looking at this historically, 53.32 was the Metro Champs record set in 2016 by Joyce B. Kwok.
Much shorter events coming from this point forward, and then we get one of our most anticipated events of the weekend to end tonight's program as we conclude with the 800-yard freestyle relay. Headed for the touch pad, it is Uriarty in lane 4 with a lead of a stroke or 2 over Huang.
Yeah, Uriarty, her touch time is 37.40 there to take home the victory, 110.90 overall.
Joriarty 1, Huang 2, Bashik 3, and Foisey 4. Now, it appears in lane 6 that touchpad is playing some tricks on the board.
Yeah, we saw that in the with
Yeah.
Anthony King, right? No, he was in lane 5. So I don't know.
Did I misspeak? I think I did, yeah. I misspoke, Nick. I think the malfunction here was in lane 6.
There's been some malfunctions throughout the weekend.
It almost appeared as if the touch was made and then the time came off the board before returning in a spot far exceeding where it should have been. That's what it looked like to me. I would say it cost you about what? A second and a half?
Yeah, but that can make a difference.
Oh,
That could be a
it certainly
huge
can.
difference, so.
That's why we have timekeepers and multiple timekeepers meetings throughout the weekend. They're on top of that. They're professionals here.
Absolutely.
We say it every year, Nick. They do it right here at the Mets. If they didn't, we wouldn't come back.
All right, let's move on here to meet the competitors in the A final. Lane 1 from Sarah Lawrence College, 106.66. Prelim time, the sophomore Hannah Drum. Lane 2 from Mount St. Mary College, 104.06. Seed time, the senior Kayla Nicholas. And when I say think of Nicholas here, didn't we have a Foreman last year's event, a Joe Foreman, or was that a basketball game?
Well, we didn't have a Foreman here that I recall. We did have one in basketball for sure.
That's what I was thinking of. All right, lane 3, Evie Lockcock, as she is the freshman from Gordon College, 101.44. Lane 4 from Baruch College, the best prelim time by far, 58.56. Elise Alexander. In lane 5 from Sarah Lawrence College, the junior, Kalani Talma. 1 minute prelim time, 1:00.10. Leanne Winter for Hunter College, the senior. She had a 1:02.69 prelim time. In lane 7, Sophia Langiel from Baruch College, the freshman, 1:06.35. And in lane 8, Joe, it's Juliana French for Roberts Wesleyan University with a 1:11.95 prelim time. And overall here last year, we do have the winner of this event back in it here, Elise Alexander from Baruch. Last year, Joe, 59.47 was her winning time. She already bested that in the prelims this evening, so she is the favorite.
And I was about to say, Nick, if you didn't highlight it, I was going to. Alexander, of course, the heavy favorite given the seed times. And can she improve upon that seed time? Already about a full second ahead of her winning time from last year.
Well, no, in less than a minute.
Swimmers all closely assembled, headed for the wall. Off the turn, Alexander gains an edge on the underwater, but still in lanes 3 and lanes 5. Talma and Lecoq close behind.
Now we'll see Alexander touches the pad here at 27.42, and you saw that malfunction again on the clock there in lane 5.
It did look that way, Nick. I thought there was more than 2/100ths of a second between Talma and Alexander. If we have a close finish, keep an eye on those times up on your screen. It also appears our camera has drifted a bit. We lost the bottom of the scoreboard. Alexander with a lead of maybe a stroke or two. She's going to take this one, and I believe she bested her seed time.
Yes,
Indeed, she did.
58.03 here to come away victorious.
So let's get the bottom of our board back. Not sure exactly when we lost that. It is Alexander 1, Talma 2, Lecoq 3, Winter 4, Nicholas 5, Lengiel 6th, and then we lose 7 and 8 to our next heat.
All right, let's go through this quick here as the boys are ready to fly, butterfly into the water, that is, for the heat 1 of 2 here. Lane 2, Baruch College's Eric Goldstein, who just raced pretty recently, so quick recovery for him from the last race that he was in, the 400-yard individual medley. Lane 2, Alex Anastasias from SUNY Maritime. Jonathan Harvey, lane 3 from Roberts Wesley University. Josh Meese, also Roberts Wesleyan, lane 5. Lane 6, also Roberts Wesleyan, is Aiden Soggs. And in lane 7 from Brooklyn College, Eric Umkeev.
Swimmers heading toward the wall, and it is Jonathan Harvey with a narrow lead over his teammate Josh Meese. And it appears that bragging rights are very much on the line here. Meese has pulled ahead of Harvey as they head for the touch pad. No other swimmer within range, and it is going to be Josh Meese taking the win in this men's 100-yard fly. This is a B final.
Great job there by him to get the victory.
A final beginning momentarily as the swimmers are waiting to enter the pool area. And here they come as we get set for our 100-yard fly. A final on the men's side. Still a 200 free, 100 breast, and 100 back event ahead of our next break. As I mentioned before, we then wrap up with the 800-yard free relay. But Nick, let's meet the A finalists for the men's 100 fly.
All right, Joe. Lane 1, Brooklyn College, freshman, 56:21 prelim time, or Volpert. Lane 2, senior from Baruch College, 55:04 seed time, Michael Guzman. Lane 3, Gordon College, the junior, 53:66. And, well, Joe, look who's in lane 4. We saw him do really well in the relay before, so keep an eye on him. From Roberts Wesley University with a 47:13 prelim time, which is hitting the D3 standard. A sophomore, and he's the Mets record holder in the 100 fly. So here he is, and Anthony Peterson, as I believe he last year was he the winner in this race?
The winner in the 100 fly
year, yes,
for the men last year.
It was him, yes, as a freshman. Yes. So he won. So he's the favorite.
Also, Nick, we mentioned before that in the 400 IM, the winner last year was Theo Dietrich. His class was not listed on our record sheet, but he is competing in this event. He has not yet graduated, is still here, but did not compete in the 400 IM to defend his crown.
All right, so that's interesting there. Maybe wanted to rest up for this event. But lane 5 is Ramil Fangersh from Baruch College, a junior, 52:93. Prelim time in lane 6 is Ethan Abramov from Baruch College with a 54:54 prelim time as a senior. Alex Oispenko, the sophomore from the SUNY Maritime College, is 56:21 prelim time, and Eric Kim from Baruch College, the freshman, 57:07 prelim time.
And we are underway in the men's 100-yard fly A final.
Ben Michelson, the all-time record holder, 45:80 in the year 2000.
And Nick, as you mentioned, it appears that's how far back these records go. So you could say that you and I have been a part of the Mets championship coverage now for close to 20% of the conference history. And hopefully many more years to come.
We can only hope.
Peter Saw with the lead, swimming out of lane 4. It is a sizable lead. Perhaps a race for second, but it appears Ramil Fangersh has a tight grip on second. Peter Saw closing in and will make the final touch at 47:40.
Peter Saw besting his prelim time. Did not best his win from last year, though, where he was at 46.99.
First place points, nonetheless, for the Roberts Wesleyan sophomore.
Just about 2 seconds and some change off the all-time record in that event. So he's only a sophomore. Maybe that'll be in striking distance by the time he's a senior.
Women's 200-yard freestyle C final underway. And Nick, do you recall them exiting the pool immediately upon the beginning of the next heat last year? I didn't think they moved
got
this
out
quickly.
first. I don't know.
I did not recall the program moving this quickly last year. And we are flying.
Well, it was the butterfly. Now it's the freestyle. So the freestyle obviously always does well. Now let's talk about our sponsor first. Maggie Dibbs. Go that way really fast. If something gets in your way, turn around. Very inspirational there. I know your colleague who'll be calling the swim meet with you tomorrow will enjoy that. But looking here, really quick, I'll run through everything as we're about halfway through this race already. Lane 1, Juliana Atencio from John Jay College. Lane 2, Sarah Wainwright from Gordon College. John Jay College again, Julia Murray, lane 3, and Grace Driver in lane 4 from John Jay College. Cindy Castaneda from Baruch College, lane 5. Emily Bubb, Roberts Wesleyan, lane 6. Jocelyn Engel, lane 7, Sarah Lawrence College. And from SUNY Maritime, it's Renee Kelly in lane 8.
As you mentioned, Nick, we were closing in on the midway point in this C final. We are now beyond that midway point. With the lead heading toward the wall is Grace Driver. Her nearest competitors in lanes 2 and 5. You can also add her teammate Julia Murray in lane 3 to the mix.
See Grace building on this lead here, 38:53 split time.
Still a comfortable lead for Driver. As she heads toward the wall, it appears as if we're going to have a race for second in this C final. About a body length lead for Castaneda in lane 5 over Murray in lane 3. One, 2, 3 appears clear cut in this one, as does 4 and perhaps even 5. The swimmers have made our job fairly easy tonight in calling winners as they happen. It is Grace Driver taking the win in the C final of the women's 200-yard freestyle, followed by Cindy Castaneda, Julia Murray, Emily Bubb, Sarah Wainwright.
Pretty much all true to their prelim times.
Jocelyn Engel. Let's see, do we get the true 1 through 8 here? Yes, we will.
Yes, we will.
Lane 8 out of our line of sight, but the camera's got a view of it. Spectators making that a battle.
One of these years, Joe, will get an overhead camera on the catwalk here.
Oh,
point
boy.
down at the pool. Imagine
Well,
they send you up there. Joe, here's the key.
It's actually pretty easy access, Nick. It's a matter of, do we have a perspective that would cover the pool?
Right, you probably only get like half the pool.
Well, the catwalk does extend well beyond the main pool. Meanwhile, let's meet the B finalists.
Meet the B finalists. Olivia Huey from Sarah Lawrence College in lane 1. Ava Greengrass from Sarah Lawrence College in lane 2. Isabella Gadus from Gordon College in lane 3. Kara Chang from Hunter College in lane 4. Victoria Hapsis from John Jay College in lane 5. Kaylee Gormley from Gordon College in lane 7. And Joe, is that Parvi, or is her first name cut off?
I think it was, if I recall, Parvi Bono.
All right. Makma Delivia in lane 7 for Hunter College. And in lane 8 is Kate Servin from Mount St. Mary College.
with the lead.
Magdaleva was swimming pretty well, and now she's falling behind.
With the lead swimming out of lane 4, Kara Chang, her Hunter College teammate. Victoria Hapsis in lane 5, about a body length and a half behind.
Looking like Kara Chang's race to win at this point. Wouldn't be the first time we saw her win a B heat in this meet. I believe she won last night.
Chang registers that last touch at 1:33.56 with a split about 2 seconds ahead of Hapsis. Still a sizable lead for Chang as she closes in on her final touch.
Three bodies length lead right now over Hapsis.
We have not had that very tight finish yet. It's been pretty clear cut, 1, 2, 3 in most of our events so far tonight. I think the lone exception may have been our very first relay.
Yeah.
Final standings in the B final, Chang 1, Hapsis 2. Aduis 3, Makhmadaleva 4, Greengrass 5, Gormley 6, Huey 7th, and Servin 8th.
All right, the ladies are coming out here for the A final. And some historical perspective on this A final. Mentioned her before, mention her again. Kinsey J. Brooks, Metro Champs record 101.91 in 2022. And last year in this event, we had the winner being Maya Webb, Roberts Wesleyan senior last year, who had a great meet, and she won at 153.51. So looking at these finalists right now, we have lane 1, Angelina Manero from Mount St. Mary College. Prelim time 2:11.38. Ella Hernan from Sarah Lawrence College 2:09.43. Prelim time, her teammate Kalani Talma with a prelim time of 2:05.32 in lane 3. In lane 4 is Antonio Liccardi from Mount St. Mary College, and her prelim time was 1:59.73. Cara Pilateri from Roberts Wesleyan University is in lane 5 for Roberts Wesleyan University. Prelim time 2:03.79. Julia Maker, Sarah Lawrence College's freshman swimmer, 2:08.44. Lane 7, also from Sarah Lawrence College. 4 of the 8 swimmers in this final from Sarah Lawrence College touched some major points. Cordelia Bay, 2:11.03 prelim time. And Ashley Leal, the sophomore from Baruch, rounds out the field, 2:11.60 prelim time.
You mentioned the winner last year in this event, Maya Webb, 1:53.51. Her winning time in 2025. And nobody in this year's field posted a seed time close to that. But Nick, we've seen more than once before. That doesn't always tell the full story. It's a lot of time to shave off to match Webb's time, but we will see if anyone gives that time a push. With the lead following the first turn in lane 4 is Antonia Liccardi. Field still closely assembled as they approach the touch pads.
Liccardi got there first, 27.34. Talma in lane 3 was second, 27.69.
She's right there, about a stroke or 2 behind at most. Following the underwater, Liccardi gains a bit of an edge back. And we see that from time to time. On the turns, there are swimmers who excel. gaining ground on the underwater, and then there are other swimmers who don't quite travel as far as efficiently through the water, but once they emerge, they begin to close the gap a bit.
Talma does very well underwater, as you can see. She's really closed the gap now with Riccardi.
Now off the turn, it appears neither of those two swimmers gained any significant advantage.
It looks like Riccardi's going to touch first here. See what the difference is now.
All right, it looks like we might be done over at diving, so we're going to take the audio off of that stream momentarily as we shift our focus back to the main pool. And Nick, we might get that close finish we've been waiting for in lanes 3 and 4, Talma and Riccardi.
Wait, look how much they're separated by last touch. 128.17, 128.18.
1/100th of a second.
Here it comes, Joe. Talma with the slight lead, it looks like.
No telling who is going to take this one. Will it be Talma? Will it be Riccardi? First to the touchpad is Talma by about 0.6 of a second.
So Talma chased down Riccardi there on that last length to come away victorious.
The next event is the men's 200-yard freestyle heat 1 B final.
Moving on here to one of two heats for the men. One of two heats. They're going to go lanes 1 through 7 here. From Gordon College, lane 1 is Braden Kane. Lane 2, Roberts Wesley, is Nathan DeWeese. In lane 3, from Mount St. Mary College, Joseph Scarola. In lane 4, from Mount St. Mary College, Marcus Innamorato. In lane 5, from SUNY Maritime, Ryan Colombo. In lane 6, from SUNY Maritime, Liam McManus. And in lane 7, from Brooklyn College, it's Max Saltzman.
With the lead swimming out of lane 3 is Joseph Scarola. First to the wall, and his lead maybe half a body length. Close competitors in lanes 4, 5, and 6. Innamorato, Colombo, and McManus all very much in the mix as we've reached the midway point.
What's interesting, Joe, is the A final is really stacked. Usually, like we said, I said this last night too for a race, but usually the 8th spot in the A and the 1st in the B are not that far separated, but the 8th spot in the A, 1:51.06 was the prelim time. So about a little over 2 seconds between he and Innamorato in the prelims.
Scarola has increased his lead to nearly a full body length. Innamorato trying to stay with him here. In lanes 5 and 6, Colombo and McManus still in it as well. Swimmers headed for the touchpad here. As the timekeepers gather, it's getting close in lanes 3 and 4, Nick. Innamorato might have a shot, and Scarola edges him out by less than 0.2 of a second.
Yeah. Really great there by Scarola because Innamorato was coming on really strong there. Actually was better in that line, 29.67. Scarola was 30.68, but Scarola holds on for the victory.
Nick, Anthony King has entered the live chat.
Really, Anthony.
They have watched back his one-man show.
Great race. All eyes were on you, man. You're royalty out there in this pool.
The amount of puns and wordplays there is impressive.
Did Anthony comment?
He's in the live chat. He said it is all about endurance out there.
Absolutely.
Though I think he was responding to the comments above. We had some viewers who were very pessimistic about their ability to participate in a 400 IM.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
Could I finish? Maybe I could finish, but it wouldn't be in any reasonable time.
No, it'd be like over 10 minutes.
I think the hardest part with zero experience would be figuring out how to breathe properly with each
Right.
stroke.
I could probably do a 50 free, probably 100 free. Beyond that, I don't think I could do anything.
I'd probably be cooked halfway.
All right, let's take a look at this A final. Lane 1 from SUNY Maritime. It is Matt Klemek, sophomore with the 150.88 prelim time. In lane 2 from Roberts Wesleyan, sophomore Tanner Pinto-Cone. He had a prelim time of 149.20. In lane 3, Lucas Vasquez from Baruch College. The sophomore had a 149.09 prelim time. Michael Kravitz, Brooklyn College's star junior swimmer, 147.50 prelim time. Sage Steffen, Gordon College's junior swimmer, 148.11. Sage Steffen right there in lane 5. Lane 6 from Baruch College, Adrian Lengyel is the freshman from Baruch with a 149.18 prelim time. Derek Woodford, sophomore from Roberts Wesleyan University, 150.26 prelim time. And in lane 8 from Baruch College, the freshman with the 151.06 prelim time, Alex Boyarski. And the winner of this event last year was none other than Ramil Fangersh. He is not in this final. We did see him swim, though, earlier on. So we'll see. This is up for grabs here. And the winner of this, the all-time winner, was James McChesney, 136.52, Mets championship record in 2023.
So last year's winner not participating opens the door for a new crown holder in this men's 200-yard freestyle. At the quarter mark, it is going to be Sage Steffen in lane 5, getting to the touch pads first by just shy of half a second. He is also first to the wall for his second turn.
So last year, it was a time of 146.83 to win this. Kravitz, 147.50 prelim time. Of course, Kravitz won the 500 freestyle last year.
Kravitz right now in the middle of the pack, and Sage Steffen has put on a strong performance thus far. We're about 3/4 of the way to the finish, and Steffen's lead is growing toward a body length.
See Steffen's touch time here. 28.34. So Kravitz picking it up there, 27.90.
Well, Nick, watch out for Tanner Pinto-Cone in lane 2.
Just gonna say, 27.74 touch.
Yeah.
He might have the lead off the turn here.
Lengyel in there as well. Look how this race has shifted. The men's A final in the 200 free is going to be a close finish. It could be Kravitz in lane 4. It could be Lengyel in lane 6. And it is Kravitz by 4/100ths of a second over Lengyel.
Wow, what a race. That's what we were looking for all evening long. How exciting.
Look at those splits in the final 50. Kravitz saving his best for last. He was in the middle of the pack entering the final 50, and he surges to a victory with a time of 26.72.
All right, we're getting ready for women's 100-yard breaststroke C final. So real quick, we'll go through the lanes. Hepatala Oatby from Brooklyn College, lane 2. Kira Engleton, lane 3 from John Jay College. Gordon College's Hannah Tremblay, lane 4. Anza Barth, lane 5 from Baruch. Salma Jaramillo from Baruch, lane 6. And Ali Abe Mayer from Sarah Lawrence College in lane 7.
All right, Nick, just attending to our diving stream one final time. They have concluded diving.
Well, only 8 competitors overall, so quick competition. Couldn't tell you who won right now.
Well,
from
our
perspective.
viewers certainly can, though I would have to think they made the announcements over the stream, but they brought me back the microphone, which is how I knew they were finished.
Yeah.
But they're all wrapped up in the diving pool, and our focus once again shifts back to the main pool. Headed for the wall in lane 4, Hannah Tremblay has a narrow lead over Anza Barth, swimming out of lane 5. That duo headed for the touch pad for their final touch, and it appears Tremblay has the edge. That edge is dwindling, Nick.
She's going to get it, but it's close.
Just barely. About half a second. Tremblay 1, Barth 2. Yamarillo 3. Angleton, 4. El Cote 5. And Abe Mayer 6th.
All right, on to Heat 2, the final. 8 competitors in this. Lane 1, Hunter College's Amani Chisholm. In lane 2, the SUNY Maritime's Kristen Carroll. Lane 3, from Sarah Lawrence College, Aubrey Roser. Lane 4, from Baruch, Daria Voinitskaya. In lane 5, from Gordon College, Ella Schisler. In lane 7, from Hunter College, Gwendolyn Posner. Lane 7, from Hunter College, Aisha Krishner. And in lane 8, from Gordon College, from Hunter College, it's Molly Nettles. So 4 Hunter College swimmers in this race.
Through the first 50, it is a 1/100th of a second lead for Voinitskaya. Both she and Posner posting sub-40 splits in the first 50, and Voinitskaya maintains her lead headed for the wall. It is still Voinitskaya 1 and Posner 2 off the turn, and that does not appear to be changing. That duo still heading for the wall, 1-2. Schisler trying to make it interesting. May run out of time, and it's going to be Voinitskaya and Posner, 1 and 2. Posner, 8/100ths of a second ahead of Schisler for third. The rest of the field, Rosser 4, Krishna 5, Carroll 6th, Nettle 7th, and Chisholm 8th.
All right, moving on here to the A final. The defending championess, Emma Whitplatt from Gordon College, 109.32 last year. She is back. She's a sophomore, so she could try to potentially win this event 2 years in a row and ultimately go on to win it 4 years in a row. Wouldn't that be something, Joe?
Always impressive to watch the progression of individual swimmers over the course of a career. And I'd have to go back and see, are there any swimmers in this meet that we've covered for 4 years now? I think we would have noted that, and I don't believe so.
It's got to be.
Well, I'm
somebody.
talking a finalist in contention for wins, because those are the names you see repeatedly.
Right. Yeah, it's a good point.
There's a
Sure,
lot of
there's gotta be
swimmers
somebody.
to keep our eye on.
So let's look at these swimmers here in this final. Leanne Dolph, Roberts Wesleyan University. She is a junior with a 1:18.94 prelim time. Oshina Elefante from SUNY Maritime Junior, 1:16.38. Lizzie Bailey Ham, Brooklyn College's very own sophomore, 1:15.32. Emma Lippiat, as we just mentioned, the sophomore, won this last year from Gordon College, 1:11.26 prelim time. Tegan Lewis, freshman from Roberts Wesleyan, 113.40. Aiden Damarova from John Jay College, who is a freshman with a 115.90 prelim time in lane 6. Lane 7 is Antonetta Baerga from Brooklyn College, the freshman with a 116.50 prelim time. And in lane 8, Ruva Gondo from Mount St. Mary College, a junior with a 120.00 prelim time. Kenzie J. Brooks again, the Metro Champs record, 101.91 in 2022.
So when you were counting the records, were those records set during our events from the program today or overall? You went and checked the overall through?
The overall records that we've covered.
All right, that was every event, not just tonight's.
Correct.
Got it. Well, you mentioned Lippiat, a name to watch, swimming out of lane 4. She is first to the wall and off the turn. Her lead very narrow, but a strong underwater in lane 5 for Tegan Lewis has her nearly neck and neck with the leader Lippiat. The rest of the field very closely assembled behind. Aiden Damarova closing in as well, but off the touchpad, it is Lippiat growing her lead close to a body lane.
Yeah, Lippiat 32.28 touch there, and that's over a second.
You don't
Lead
often see
Lewis.
a burst like that from the touchpad, Nick.
All right.
And from that end of the pool, Lippiat gained a significant edge heading back the other way.
Yeah, over a body length now.
Yes, she's coasting to the win, and it appears that in lane 6, Aiden Damarova will take second. Lewis will take third, Elefante fourth, Baerga fifth, Bailey Hom sixth, Dolph seventh, and Gondo eighth.
So 110.44, second slower than her time last year, but she's still the winner.
And look at that split differential in the final 50 there. 3 swimmers, sub 40, and Lippiat, the leader among them at 38.16, secures the win.
All right, moving on to 100-yard breaststroke for the men. Lane 1, Cannon, Cheryl Coca from SUNY Maritime. John Spencer, Roberts Wesleyan's swimmer in lane 2. Paul D'Ambrosio from Mount St. Mary College, lane 3. Johnny Mins, Gordon College's swimmer, lane 4. Baruch College's Rameng Jiang in lane 5. Hayden Smith from Roberts Wesleyan, lane 6. Christos Hamakiotis in lane 7. And Samuel Gorodetsky from Brooklyn College in lane 8.
Leader through the first 50 is Johnny Mins by a slim margin. His lead maybe half a body length, headed for the wall, perhaps a bit less than that, as Hayden Smith of Roberts Wesleyan was closing in out of lane 6. And how about that turn off the wall from Smith? That propels him to a narrow lead. Smith headed for the touchpad, has a shot, but he is edged out by Mins.
Close race there at the end.
The turn was almost enough for Smith, but once they got back to the middle of the pool, Mins separating himself in this 100-yard breaststroke.
All right, we're getting set here for the A final here. And Joe, after this race, we only have one more individual event, which is the 100-yard backstroke. So we're flying through this evening.
Well, when they introduce the A finalists and we get all of these unique music selections, all different eras, all different genres, you and I can't shut up because we don't speak.
Copyright.
This part of the stream has to get trimmed.
We got to bring in a karaoke singer for next year to fill up the space just to sing. But
well, hopefully they're not singing over the music, the copyrighted music, or it won't matter.
All right, so let's look at the finalists here. Gordon College's James Branagh in lane 1. He's a junior, 1:00:57 seed time. Kyle Dumas, Gordon College, freshman from his prelim time. He had a 1:00:38 time. Andrew Wu from Brooklyn College, the freshman, 59.66, lane 3. Rowan Hayes, the junior from SUNY Merida, 57.14. He won this event last year. So he had a 59.96 time in that race, which he obviously bested here in his, well, was looking to best here in this race. Daniel Vasilkov from Baruch College, a junior, 59 flat seed time. Joshua Charia from Baruch College, a freshman, 1:00:29 prelim time. Liu Cabanyanin is swimming in lane 7 for Roberts Wesleyan, freshman, 1:00:50 prelim time. And Jordan Lynn from Baruch, the senior, 1:02:66 heat time for his prelim.
Two more swimmers to be introduced here in this men's 100-yard breaststroke A final. You mentioned, Nick, some of the highlights from this event last year in the men's 100 breast last year. You mentioned Rowan Hayes, the winner, 56.96, all-time record, about 3 seconds ahead of that. So we don't expect to see that record pushed here this evening. As we look at the times, 57.14 is the best time posted among the seed times. So perhaps last year's top time in jeopardy. And in order to make that happen, it would likely have to be Rowan Hayes besting his own time from 2025. We'll see if he can pull it off. We'll see if he secures the win. Of course, anything can happen in this A final. Men's 100-yard breaststroke underway as the swimmers head for the wall.
Hayes with the lead off the wall.
And Nick, it was quite interesting to watch as the swimmers entered the pool. Rowan Hayes didn't have any distinct advantage. It looked like he was in fact trailing a bit immediately following the entry. He jumped out to a narrow lead so quickly despite being behind off the entry into the pool. It was really impressive to watch. But his lead is certainly not safe here.
Vasilkov breathing down his neck.
Vasilkov just competed, didn't he, Nick?
Yes.
Hayes now beginning to separate himself, heading for the touchpad. Vasilkov attempting a late push, but he did not have enough. It is Hayes 1, Vasilkov 2, Wu 3, Kabanayan 4, Shariah 5, Dumais 6th, Branagh 7th, and Lynn 8th.
All right, that's going to bring us now to our final individual event of the evening. And we're going to start with the women's C final, 100-yard breaststroke. Joanna Pedersen, 54.73, the all-time Mets record set in 2015. Lane 3 is Kristen Argueta from SUNY Maritime. Her teammate Rebecca Kamotek is in lane 4. Salem Williams from John Jay College in lane 5, and Ayatollah El-Goldby is in lane 6 from Brooklyn College. They get ready to start things off here for the backstroke.
As you said, Nick, this is our final individual event ahead of the 800-yard freestyle relay, and that is always a fun one to call. As you said, this is a C final, just 4 swimmers in the pool. and it will be for a relatively short time. Off the wall, Salem Williams with a narrow lead of about half a body length. Kamayotek not far behind, swimming out of lane 4, and all 4 swimmers very much in the mix through the first 50.
41.95 touch for Williams. Has the lead right now.
So nearly a 2-second advantage for her through the first 50. Her lead now has extended to about a body length. Off the turn, her lead only grows further now, well beyond a body length. And this C final will belong to Salem Williams. The question is, who's going to take second? It appears that in lane 4, second place will belong to Rebecca Kamayotek. Kirsten Argueta will take third, and Ayatollah El Kopi will take fourth at some point, as the touchpad did not produce a result up on the scoreboard. And how about that? It's a new record. Not really. 46:15 is not the correct time. Did I get you there for a second?
Well, that lane 6 has been a problem all night.
Yeah, how about a record-setting C final? That would be something. I've mentioned it before on stream here at the Mets. I enjoy calling swimming very much. I do not enjoy scoring it because you are at the mercy of the touchpad, at the mercy of the technology in the pool. You have timekeepers here at championships, and you do have them at the collegiate meets, but if a touchpad malfunctions or something goes wrong with the high-tech software, immediately all eyes are on you. And admittedly, Nick, I don't know how to fix it. Never been trained in the software. I'm just
Put
there.
the hands up and say, not my job. That's
well,
it. Ask the sports information director.
It's not their job either. Typically, the SIDs do not take charge of the high-tech software. It's usually specialists in that software.
Compliance guy, maybe. But
well,
here in the 100 back heat 2, Amani Gonzalez, lane 1 from Baruch. Anastasia Leishk in lane 2 from Hunter College. Steph Summer, lane 3 from Mount St. Mary College. Hannah Drum, lane 4. Sarah Lawrence College. Lane 5, Zilly Bradshaw from Hunter College. Isabella Boschetto from Gordon College in lane 6. Jordan Vanderhoof in lane 7 from Roberts Wesleyan. And Denise Rojas is in lane 8 from Hunter College.
and we are beyond the midway point, nearing the three-quarter mark in this women's 100-yard backstroke B final. It's a narrow lead in lane 4 for Hannah Drum. Lily Bradshaw not far behind. Neither is Steph Summer, and it looks like Bradshaw may have just overtaken Drum approaching the touchpad. And with that last extension, she takes it by about 0.6 of a second. Bradshaw 1, Drum 2, Summer 3, Leishik 4, Bichetto 5, Vanderhoof 6, Gonzalez 7, and Rojas 8.
Close one. All right, so we're getting set here now for the A final here.
And Nick, that win was by about 0.4 of a second, not 6, so a bit closer than I said.
Yeah, very close race, and expecting this race to be close as well, we would imagine. Now, last year in this race, the 100-yard back, we had Kira Chen won it with a time of 1:02.19, and she's in this race again. So she is the one to keep the eye on. So lane 1, Sarah Lawrence College, Ella Hernan, the junior, 1:06.46 prelim time. Kirsten Eads, freshman from Sarah Lawrence College, 1:05.73. Kendall Smith, lane 3 from Gordon College, freshman, 103.46 prelim time. Another freshman who's looking to upset here, Kira Chen from last year's winner, Grace Vallette, 1:00.64, the best prelim time. Kira Chen, as I mentioned, the defending champ. She's a senior, 1:02.59 prelim time from Baruch. Her teammate Caitlin Chavez, the senior from Baruch, 1:04.29 prelim time. Emily Berg from Sarah Lawrence College is in lane 7. The freshman had a 1:05.81 prelim time. And in lane 8 is Yara Sheikh from Brooklyn College, a sophomore, at a 1:10.16 prelim time.
A final women's 100-yard back. And unfortunately, Nick, with the introductions, this would be about the time I'd like to go and review up-to-date scores. But while we have a moment, I'll give you the point totals entering the night. I gave you the rankings 1 through 9, but point totals entering the night for the women. Gordon College, 289. Hunter, 270. Baruch, 254. Mount St. Mary, 240. Sarah Lawrence, 230. Roberts Wesleyan, 202. Brooklyn, 150. John Jay, 150. And SUNY Maritime, 121.
Yeah, so Joe, if Grace Vallette wins this, it's going to put Hunter at the top, I think.
Well, remember, Nick, those point totals were entering the night.
Entering the night.
The night. That just about brings us to the start of the women's 100-yard backstroke A final. For the men, this event is on the final page of our sheet somewhere, Nick. There it is. 2 heats for the men coming up next. No clear leader of the pack, though it appears at the wall. Grace Vallette did reach the wall first, and now her lead extends to about half a body length.
Vallette, the freshman, looking to unseed the senior Chen, who won last year. And right now, she's got a bit of a lead. She touched first there, 28.87. Chen was 30.01.
Still a nice-sized lead for Vallette. And it looks like she's going to take this one, barring an incredible late surge. Second could go to any of 3 swimmers in lanes 3, in lanes 5, lane 6. Vallette will be 1. Who will be 2? It appears that in lane 5, Chen has the edge, and she takes second. Smith 3rd, Chavez 4th, Hernan 5th, Eads 6th, Berg 7th, and Sheikh will take 8th.
Well, Chen there, not able to go back-to-back. 102.74 in this, 102.19 she won last year, but that wouldn't have cut it as Grace Vallette, 100.38, comes in first.
This is the men's 100.
Well, that's a big win for Vallette. As you mentioned, Nick, may not put her team in front at the moment, but entering the night, Hunter College very much in the mix. And we'll have point totals once again tomorrow night. And of course, we'll share those up-to-date point totals with you ahead of the start of our Sunday night finals, the 3rd and final day of the 2026 Mets Swimming and Diving Conference Championships. Keep in mind, the senior walk is tomorrow night as well. We will have coverage of that for you. Nick, let's meet the swimmers in the men's B final for the 100 back.
All right, so in lane 2 from Brooklyn College, nobody's in lane 1. Nikolai Krylyuk. In lane 2, Moss, Michold, Burke from Sarah Lawrence College. Potentially his first name's cut off. It could be Moses. I think it's Moss, though. Jaden Parshall in lane 4, Roberts Wesleyan. Kyle Giuliano from Mount St. Mary College is in lane 5. Victor Pineda is in lane 6. Jaden Parshall touched first there, 28.60.
Just to make sure everyone in the pool gets their due, I will pull up that roster very quickly. I have all of those in front of me. Just have to find the Griffins. Meanwhile, in lane 4, Jaden Parshall with a lead, and that lead appears safe as he heads for the touch pad. Once again, the question is who will take second? Any of three swimmers could be the one. And number 2 is Michaud Burke. And we will double check that first name and make sure he gets his due. Meanwhile, it is Giuliano 3rd, Pineda 4th, and Kurliak 5th.
All right, so we get that set up, Joe. We'll set the stage here for the last individual race of the evening. 100-yard backstroke, a final. All-time record holder. We were here for it. Jack Watson, 47.54. That was set back in 2023. So that was really exciting to be here for that.
And Nick, sorry to cut you off very quickly. It was Moss Michaud Burke who took second in that last heat. Wanted to make sure he gets his due. But the board does not reflect the lowercase c and uppercase H. That would be necessary in his last name. So his last name was Michaud Burke. M lowercase c,
well, that's
capital
very
H.
helpful.
Yes. Yes. That's why we need the rosters.
Yes. So, like I said, Jack Watson, he won 47.54. Yusuf El-Koile, Baruch College's senior, 53.29 is the winner from last year. Obviously, he graduated. So let's look at these competitors. Dylan Baker, Roberts Wesleyan University senior, 59.11 prelim time. Ethan Springle, Roberts Wesleyan University sophomore, 56.03 prelim time. Tenzin Gurung from Baruch College, his prelim time was 55.84. He's a freshman, another freshman. Raphael Weber from Roberts Wesleyan University, 52.63 prelim time. Ethan Abramov, the senior from Baruch, 55.50 prelim time. Cooper Hardy from Gordon College, the freshman, 55.99 prelim time. Samuel Leo from Baruch College's swim team, 57.17 prelim time, sophomore. And Michael Sarahove from SUNY Maritime, the freshman, with a 59.42 prelim time.
All right, so this is our A final and our final individual event of the evening, men's 100-yard backstroke coming up. But Nick, as we did for the women, let's get a look at the men's scores entering the night. Roberts Wesleyan University with a lead of over 110 points entering the evening at 460 total. Behind them, Baruch College at 348, followed by SUNY Maritime at 267, Gordon College at 250, Brooklyn at 204, and Mount St. Mary rounding out the field at 71 total points on the men's side. Big-time opportunities here for both the Redhawks and the Bearcats, each of those programs with 3 swimmers in this event. It appears that first to the wall could have been any of 3 swimmers. I believe it was Springle, Weber, and Hardy, all competing to be first to the wall. First to the touch pad will be Weber.
Yeah,
about 1/10 of a second ahead.
25.78. So great swim there for him so far.
A bit more than 1/10, make it closer to about half a second ahead of Springle. And that lead out of lane 4 for Weber has only grown. It's a race for second, Nick. And any of 4 swimmers has a shot at it.
Close.
First place points belong to Weber, and second place points will go to Gurung. Rest of the field, Springle, Abramov, Hardy, Yao, Saharov, and Baker.
At this time, we will take a 20-minute break.
All right, Nick, 20-minute
20
break.
minutes, big break. You're going to have to go to the merch stands during the break, Joe.
Perhaps I will. 20-minute break, time to load up on merch, perhaps some concessions. And when we come back, one event left on the program for our Saturday evening finals. It will be the 800-yard freestyle relay. Just one heat for the women and one heat for the men. That is coming up following this 20-minute break right back here on the PDF Sports Network. All right, Nick, it is relay time. Our final events of the night, the 800-yard freestyle relay finals. Let's get the lane assignments.
Yeah, let's get ready to relay here. So just 2 more races here to go. So say about 20 more minutes left in this evening's broadcast. So we're going to go lanes 2 through 7 for the ladies. The Metro Champs record for the ladies is set in 2014, 7:31.94 by the University of Bridgeport. That will not be touched tonight. So let's go through what we got here. Lane 2, Gordon College, 9:19 seed time. Hunter College in lane 3, 8:46.76 seed time. Roberts Wesleyan University in lane 4 with an 8:20 seed time, 8:20.49 to be exact. Sarah Lawrence College in lane 5. That is a 8:29.85 seed time. In lane 6, we got Baruch College, 8:47.62. And in John Jay College, we have them in lane 7 with a 10:02.11 seed time. So, Joe, we are about 30 seconds in here for what anticipates to be about an 8.5 minute race.
Early on through the first 50 plus, it is Hunter and Roberts Wesleyan out of lanes 3 and 4 going stroke for stroke toward the wall. And Nick, as I mentioned before, those two teams very much in the mix on the women's side. More so Hunter right now near the top, but though the teams rank 1 through 9, the men just 1 through 6, not too much separation between the first 6 women's programs, all entering the night over 200 points.
Yeah, this is going to play a lot of dividends here, this race with the points.
You know, I did look at the scoring yesterday, and I'm going to pull that back up in just a moment because we're going to have some time during this 800. And let me see if I can find relay scoring information. Now, I did mention we had a meet information document. It is labeled with the year. However, when you scroll down, Nick, they updated the document. How about that?
Wow.
So those prelim start times now updated on the document. So the document I had, incorrect. All of the correct start times are on this document. So either it was updated or I printed the wrong year, but I have the correct dates. So I highly doubt I printed the wrong document. Either way, relay scoring. We'll get to that in just a moment.
Right now, Roberts Wesleyan building a really strong lead.
Well, I think it's Hunter with the lead, Nick, in lane 3.
All right, Hunter with big lead, Roberts Wesleyan
Closing in.
Second place.
All right, let me find that relay scoring.
Gets crowded down by the pool when you got 24 competitors, plus the timekeepers.
All right, it's going to take some reading for the relay scoring.
All right, so you could dig into that. And if you look now, Joe Hunter and Roberts Wesleyan neck and neck.
All right, they're allowed a scoring A relay and a non-scoring B relay, and then the A relay would follow the point totals for an A final. So in descending order from 1st through 8th for an A final, 32, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, and 22. Hopefully that was 8 numbers I just listed.
Lane 6 having some clock issues again. We have a really quick touch time there. You see that, Joe?
Yeah, I mentioned that before, that we had a new record. Was because of a faulty touchpad in lane 6. But as always, the timekeeper's right on top of it. No worries there with a malfunctioning touchpad.
So Roberts Wesleyan now in first. And Hunter behind them. And it looks like Baruch in third right now.
Yeah, it's always tough to make out exactly where the participants are after a long time.
Right.
Teams lapping one another from time to time, but we've had our eye on the top 2 or 3, and as you said, Nick, it appears that right now 1, 2, 3, Roberts Wesleyan, Hunter Baruch. I believe Sarah Lawrence is 4th. Final swimmers into the pool for both the Red Hawks and the Bearcats, or I should say third swimmer from the end, not the final swimmer. Third swimmer from the start, that is. All this talk of scoring and swim math the last couple of days, my brain scrambled. I did call 2 basketball games today as well. I wonder how many have done that. I guess prelims technically aren't a call, but we had diving and swimming prelims. I had 2 basketball games and now swimming and diving finals.
And not even close to your busiest weekend of all time.
I'd say it might be close, not the busiest. That goes to the Little League Baseball Championship.
I remember a weekend where you did two basketball games Friday. You did 3 basketball games and a football game on a Saturday, and you did 2 more basketball games on a Sunday. That is true. Was pretty impressive.
I have done 8 basketball games, or I should say 8 baseball games in about 36 hours. I've done that before.
That's a lot.
Or is it 48? It's closer to 48.
With some faulty internet.
Well, we won't talk about that. Roberts heading for the touch pad here. Still some time to go in this 800 free relay, but they have extended their lead comfortably ahead of Hunter. And Hunter for a long time was their closest competition. That has since changed. They have a sizable lead over Baruch as well. Final swimmer getting set to enter the pool for Roberts Wesleyan here, as we have surpassed the 6-minute mark in this 800 free relay. We make the disclaimer each and every year with each and every relay, but we do not have the individual swimmers' names listed. There has to be a way. I'm sure Meet Mobile has live stats of some kind for this meet, I would suspect. I know they did in the past.
Right.
It does require a subscription, but I'd happily pay it. I don't recall seeing a link for that. The Hawks, meanwhile, have sent their final swimmer into the pool, soon to be joined by that of Sarah Lawrence and Baruch. So the Griffins did surpass the Bearcats. So the Griffins in lane 5 now ahead of Baruch in lane 6. But this A final is going to belong to Roberts Wesley, and the question is, by what margin?
Yeah, it looks like really substantial lead at this point. Over a half pool length, 3/4 of a pool length lead.
As I said, Nick, sometimes easy to lose swimmers as teams lap one another. But for Roberts Wesleyan, it is going to be a decisive victory in this A final of the women's 800-yard freestyle relay. Final 50 coming up here. Looks like Roberts with a lead of about the full length of the pool and then some. We have surpassed the 8-minute mark. And Nick, you had us at about 8.5 minutes.
Yep.
And the first final touch for Roberts Wesleyan will come in at 8:14.69. So you can split the difference between 8.5.
Yeah, good job there by them. Their prelim time was 8:20.49. It's a big difference.
That is a nice jump for the Red Hawks in this A final. Meanwhile, in lane 3, Hunter is in with a time of 8:37 flat. They take second. Griffins about to make their final turn and will finish in third. Final time for Sarah Lawrence College coming momentarily. And that time will be 9:06:20. And in lane 2, it is Gordon posting a time of 9:16.95, about half a second ahead of John Jay. Bloodhounds posted a 9:17.43, and Baruch will come in with a time of 9:33.97 to wrap up our A final in the women's 800-yard freestyle relay, our final event of the night. The men's A final in the 800 free relay coming up.
This is going to be it, Joe, already, our last event of the evening. And this one factors to be a good one as the men head to give their marks and get ready here. And I'll walk you through who we have in this competition, but first I'll let you know that much like the ladies event, the University of Bridgeport 2015, they set the record of 6:37.45. Here we go. Lane 2 is Gordon College. Their seed time 8:35.42. Lane 2 is SUNY Maritime 8:12.58. Seed time lane 3, Roberts Wesleyan University 7:16.56. Lane 5 is Baruch College 7:34.76. Prelim time. Mount St. Mary College 8:25.17 seed time, and in lane 7 is Brooklyn College is 9:08.68 seed time. So lanes 2 through 7. I'm gonna say this race will take about 7 minutes and 13 seconds to see the winner.
Well, as we get set to begin here, the volume level in the building picking up quite a bit. We are underway in the men's 800-yard freestyle relay, our A final and our final event on night 2 of the 2026 Met Swimming and Diving Conference Championship. Roberts Wesleyan with a lead of about a body length, swimming out of lane 4. Baruch, the next closest competitor, trailing them as Roberts posts a split just shy of a second and a half ahead of Baruch. And no other team remotely close to the 2 leading teams right now.
And Roberts Wesleyan, the heavy favorites in this one. 7:16.56 seed time. Baruch College, the next closest, 7:34.76. So a big difference.
Entering the night in the men's meet, Roberts Wesleyan led Baruch in total points 460 to 348. Now, whether you get first or second in an event like this, assuming I had the scoring correct, isn't really a huge difference, and I'd be inclined to think that's wrong, but I did not find any additional details in relay scoring beyond what I mentioned before with the descending point totals from 32 down to 22. That was for events with 24 finalists, however.
Yeah.
So I would suspect that there is a bit more of a gap between point totals for relays, but I did not find that anywhere in the document.
Yeah, you'd have to think, especially in a race where there's only 6 teams, maybe that would change, but you have to really do a deep dive in that document.
Yeah, I didn't find anything additional. I gave it the old Control F or Command F, depending on your operating system of choice. I'm a Command F kind of guy.
Yeah,
now.
you used to be a Control F guy. But you've become a Mac guy over the last 4 or 5 years.
Well, our streaming software only runs on Mac, so I wasn't left with much for choice. That being said, after a few years on the side of the single bitten fruit, looking pretty good. I think I found my spot.
So Baruch had a 23.82 split there on that swimmer, and Roberts Wesleyan swimmer right now 27.94. but a huge lead right now for Roberts Wesleyan.
A lot of electricity in the building for this event.
There's teammates and fans showing love to the swimmers in this competition here on Valentine's Day.
See what you did there.
Now, Joe, were you forced to do any Valentine's Day talk on your basketball broadcast today by the sports information director and company?
I was not. I did mention our social media post and the word play on the word definitely. Our first choice over there was used by the conference office, from what I was told. So we had to dig further into the bag of puns as Roberts Wesleyan sends their third swimmer into the pool. Same will go for Baruch momentarily. So the Red Hawks with a lead of about 50 yards right now. And there you see swimmers for both Roberts and Baruch meeting each other right at the midline of the pool. I think right now, Nick, the question becomes, can Roberts surpass their seed time? It doesn't appear Baruch is in a position to push them yet.
All right. Roberts has just almost lapped Gordon College.
Red Hawks still posting formidable splits at this juncture. For swimmer number 3, I believe this turn puts him at the 125 mark. And this next touch will be 150.
I'm a little lost here, but it looks like Baruch is the second, right?
Yeah, when you call these longer relays, you have to follow the leader, Nick. You just have to follow the leader, and then you have to keep note of when each new swimmer enters the pool. So that'll keep you on point.
I'm trying to think who's in third right now.
Who's in third?
Is it?
I believe it's one of the
SUNY
teams in one of the first 2 lanes. I think it's
gotta
SUNY
be
Maritime or Gordon.
Gordon's a lap behind, so it's got to be SUNY Maritime.
Well, we're about to have reaffirmation of who is in first. And that indeed is Roberts Wesleyan, final swimmer into the pool for the Red Hawks.
Baruch's final swimmer going to come in next.
Yeah, they're about, I'd say, close to 65 yards off the pace. For Roberts, their seed time, 7:16:56. That's the number to watch. Final swimmer about to enter the pool for SUNY Maritime, followed closely by Gordon. Then Mount St. Mary will be next. And I'll tell you, Nick, when you're swimming as many times as some of these swimmers have on the evening, they need a bit of help getting out of the pool. And I was thinking that before.
Get exhausted.
Yeah, you swim an 800, even a 400 individually.
Who was the last guy that said is a 17-time record holder at their college?
Petersar.
Yeah, I can't imagine that's true.
Well, it could include relays. You have to keep that in mind.
Okay, that may be.
You have, let's say you have
4 relays.
4 relays. And then you would have, let's say, 3 or 4 separate distances in specific events.
Breast, butterfly, back.
Well, it would have to be effectively every stroke.
Yeah, everything.
And Roberts clocks in at 7:02:59, besting their seed time by 14 seconds.
Excellent job by Roberts. It's going to help them in the overall standings for sure.
Baruch officially coming in second place with a time of 7:17:01. For much of this race, and with the final swimmers entering the pool, it was SUNY Maritime in third, And Gordon in fourth, but Gordon hoping to make a late push.
Here we go. The drama for third place. The crowd's going crazy.
It's going to be close, Nick. Gordon might pull it out. Not quite. Look how close, Nick. Oof. And in lane 3, the final swimmer for SUNY Maritime with a big grin. Actually, that was the swimmer for Gordon in lane 2 with a big grin on his face, now exchanging pleasantries with the swimmer in lane 3. That was really close, Nick. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roberts, Baruch, SUNY Maritime, Gordon, Mount St. Mary, and Brooklyn will take 6th to wrap up night 2 here at the Mets. That final touch for Brooklyn, not quite the final touch. Celebration from the Red Hawks, seated in the spectator area as they close out the night with a win. Now this will be the final touch for Brooklyn. And their official time will come in just north of the 9-minute mark. Malfunction briefly, and 9:05:37 is the time displayed up on the board. I think they came in a bit sooner than that, but nonetheless they take 6th in the men's 800-yard freestyle relay to wrap up night 2 here at the 2026 Mets Swimming and Diving Conference Championships. We will hang around for about another minute or two just to make sure there are no additional time trials. We have seen that in the past, but I don't expect that to be the case here this evening. I always take a look toward the scorer's table. Once they put the plastic on the equipment, you know that we are all wrapped up here at the Sonny Werblin Rec Center. But Nick, before we sign off, what we will do is review our schedule for tomorrow. So I mentioned that the meet document that I printed is definitely not accurate. There is an updated document online which is accurate, so I will head over there and bring you tomorrow's schedule. I arrived here expecting a 10 a.m. start time for the prelims. Prelims tomorrow will begin at 10:30 as night 2 is officially concluded. So schedule for tomorrow, prelims, 10:30 a.m. Our meet program will feature the 1650 freestyle. That preliminary heat will take place later in the afternoon. I will be here. We will have a separate stream for the 1650 free prelims. Beyond that, women's 3-meter diving, men's 1-meter, according to our meet program here. And Nick, they did have the correction there as well. This document does list the correct diving events for tonight. I had the outdated document. So for tomorrow, women's 3-meter, men's 1-meter, those prelims will be on a separate stream from the main pool. 200 back, 100 free, 200 breast, 200 butterfly, and finally, the 400-yard freestyle relay. That is our meet program for tomorrow. Once again, prelims get underway at 10:30 in the morning. I am joined by Joe Calabrese here tomorrow night. The senior walk scheduled to begin at 5:20. As always, we will bring you the full senior walk on the stream for our main pool. But until then, this has been Joe Foreman. I want to thank my PDF Sports colleague, Nick Durst, for joining me these last 2 nights. And once again, thank you to everyone for watching as we wrap up just past 8 p.m. here on Saturday. Night 2 at the Mets comes to an end here. Be sure to join us back bright and early tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. start time for prelims here on the PDF Sports Network.